What's up, Captain Morgan? How we feeling, man? Oh, just wouldn't it update when? Okay, been already just tired. Yeah, same here. I am absolutely burned out to the max. Um I have I have had 2 weeks already within a month time span, which I have driven over 700 miles, and I am feeling over it. I am feeling over it, honestly. Yeah, 700 miles. What's up, fangirl? How we feeling? Whoops. My bad, yum. Let me. Sir. Okay, that's fine. My hair's a mess. Yeah. Um. I don't think I'll crack 800 miles this week. It's possible something could happen that I crack 800 miles this week, but um, the last time I went over 700 miles, I went 800 miles. So, but I just got over 700 miles today, and I have been excruciatingly busy. Especially with this cat that I picked up the stray outside and work. Um, which is the crazy part is the fact that I've only worked 4 days this week. I did not even go to work Wednesday. Normally I work Wednesday through Sunday. I actually called out because of the cat, and I still managed to drive 700 miles. So had I worked that day, I probably would have gone, plus doing what I've done for the cat, I probably would have driven 800 miles um, this week alone. And that would have been 2 weeks in the span of under a month that I would have driven 800 miles. Let me bring chat over where I can see it. So it's just I'm tired. I'm so tired. Yeah, my car is getting too many miles put on it. Unfortunately, where is it? Why is it not? The hell? Why is it not grabbing from the bottom here? Well, sure. Hopping around from a live stream. Yeah, trying to find something to keep you entertained. Um, yeah, I utterly exhausted from the amount of work that I've been doing, especially with this cat. And I'm not even done with the cat. I actually ended up having to keep the cat for one extra night, and hopefully I can get it to a no kill rescue tomorrow. They all close at 5, but I have to call them ahead of time to see if they have availability, like if they even have space for a cat. And there's no guarantee on that, unfortunately. I wish that I'm hoping. Thank you, Guardian. Thank you for being subscribed for 3 months. Wait, did the TTS work for that? I didn't even hear it. The TTS is supposed to work for that. Y'all let me know if it did. I didn't have my headphone on. You didn't hear it? Okay. I'll have to get that tested then with Ultima. Anyway, yeah, just the I'm hoping I can find a shelter for the cat tomorrow. Thank you, Cass. I appreciate it. That would be ideal. Do I have a balance? I don't think I have one yet. I would give it a Cass. I don't have a balance yet though. I don't think. Anyway, but yeah, that's gonna determine the basically it having the cat go to a shelter is what is going to determine the trajectory for at least this next week. On whether I'm going to be available for streaming again or not. I've kind of had to force myself. Hey Stiggy, I've kind of had to force myself to stream tonight just to get in touch with you guys. Yeah, I found a cat. We have several strays outside, and just one of them I noticed on Wednesday of last week, and he was under my car. I thought that I had run over the cat. And so, in a panic, because he was under my car, and I only noticed him under the, like, he wasn't under the car at the time, but when I had backed out of the spot, I had noticed him in the spot where my car was. So I was like, oh, I think he was just directly under the just the bumper part. And so he was pretty close in proximity to the tire. And what made me, like, I stopped and waited to see, like, did something happen to him, right? And he got up and he started walking really, really funny. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but he was getting up and he was, like, walking, like where his left side was limping in a way that was immediately and deeply concerning. Excruciating. Like, I was in a panic because I had thought, by the way that he was walking, I had thought that I ran over him. Which I would have expected to have felt like a bump, or something had I done that, but no, there wasn't that. So I rushed over to the nearest animal hospital that was open and available, which was 45 minutes away, 20 miles, one direction. And they did, thankfully, they did this for free because I was, they just gave me a kind of a Good Samaritan wave on it. Like, they just waived the fee. Good Samaritan. They did an ultrasound to look for internal bleeding. They did an X-ray to look for broken bones. And so what they found was that he did not get run over, which is great. That was the best news. And what was causing him to walk the way that he was is that they believe that he has I don't have the paperwork with me, but they believe that he has he had an infection that got in his ear because of like it getting clipped, and he had a hematoma. Is that hematoma? Basically, he had like cauliflower ear. If anyone's ever witnessed that, a lot of boxers get that kind of stuff. But his ear is like his right ear is all sorts of messed up. Just like all sorts of messed up. And the doctors were scraping up all kinds of debris and just dirt and wax, built up wax that couldn't get out naturally because of how closed up the ear was. And so they got all that. They were like, here's some pain medication for him. You just need to pay for that. It was $12. And they just said, just watch him over the weekend. Make sure he doesn't get worse. If he gets worse, try to take him to another animal hospital, and we'll probably have to euthanize him because he probably has something that we wouldn't be able to treat. So I watched him over the weekend. He didn't seem to get worse. The first day, he pretty much just slept for the first 24 hours. He kind of got up. He ate a little bit and stuff, but he didn't even use the restroom. He really just slept, which is a natural, valid reaction to that sort of, needing the healing process. But he got better about getting up and eating, and now he's gotten to the point where he just doesn't even want to be in the cage. Every time I walk in there, he's such a sweet boy. He wants to. I'll open the cage, and he immediately tries to get out, even though I'm just there to like try to feed him and stuff. He doesn't even care about the food anymore. Not that he's refusing to eat. He will eat. It's just a matter of he's just so excited to be able to be out and be free and get loved on and get the pets and stuff like that. So he's doing a lot better in terms of that. The balancing issue that he was having, he seems to still be having that, and that will probably be with him for that will likely be with him for the rest of his life to some extent. I think he could get a little bit better with his balancing over time. It's just a matter of he's not going to so his head tilts to the left, and he's probably not going to be able to fully get that balance like proper. And that's why I got to find a shelter for him, because I'm not going to be I just don't have the capacity to take care of him with my 3 cats. He's not even in my section of the basement. I have him in a completely different section of the basement that's closed off. That's away from my cats, so that way I don't have to worry about them fighting or anything like that. But he has to go be an indoor cat from here on out, because if he were to be placed back outside, he will be vulnerable to predators like a fox or a coyote. Those are like the main predators that we have here. No, it's a stray, Arby. So yeah, that's been kind of my journey this week. It's a lot on my plate, admittedly. Having to take care of the cat. Lost 2 out. Yeah, it's to coyote. The coyotes are bad out here. They're really bad. And they will eat cats easily. Even healthy cats, they can get them because they're just so much bigger. They can outpace the cats typically. The cats need to be able to hide under a low car or like under a porch in which only they can get under and not the coyote. So uh the coyotes are bad. And that's why like this cat cannot go back outside. Yeah, they are. Yeah, coyotes are nocturnal. Yeah, trees. And that's the thing is he wouldn't be able to like climb a tree. He would not have the capability of climbing a tree. The cat distribution system. What is that? Be safe while you're gone, Aubrey. Um. So yeah, I'm not gonna have much time to chat tonight, unfortunately. Probably like an hour or two. I even set the goal to just like anything of one. Like if someone literally sends $2, it's you met the goal. So yeah, your coyote screaming, dude. That's a chilling experience hearing some coyotes scream. It is. That is. Talk about giving goosebumps. Oh, stray cats come and top themselves. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, he didn't really come up to me. I went to him because of how concerned I was with his state of being. So, but I mean, I feel attached to him. I'm not gonna sit there and act like I don't. I'm gonna have to go through a small grieving phase because there's no denying that there's a part of me that wants to keep him because he is such a sweet boy. He's such a sweet boy. He just wants the pets. He wants, loving and to eat some good food and to be able to relax and purr. So I am your pet now. Uh Nintendo's gonna sue the stream. Why would they? What's up, Kazami? How we feeling? Mm. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of been my week. It's been a tough week. I'm really, really hoping I can find a rescue tomorrow. I'm gonna have to wake up early and start calling them right away, so that way I can see if there are any available. Cause I get this sinking feeling that there's not gonna be any. Nice. Yeah, I get a sinking feeling that there won't be one available. At least one that's close to me, and that's not a no kill. I'll be looking them up, Guardian. Yeah, I'll be able to handle it. I'm not looking for advice right now. I just still with the cat. Yeah, I have them for one more night. At the very least, I have them for one more night. I hope to be able to find him a rescue tomorrow. That would be ideal. That would be the ideal scenario. Would be to be able to find him a uh a rescue tomorrow. And it's okay if I can't. I would hate to have to be holding on to him for any longer. I don't know what I would do if I can't find one. Maybe I'll have to keep looking all around Georgia. I think the longest I'm willing to drive is 2 hours to be able to get him to a shelter. If I have to, so be it. I normally drive a minimum of 4 hours per shift anyway. So I just hate to have. I would hate to have to drive a 4 hour day on my day off. I'm drinking sugar-free Bargs root beer tonight. Yeah, you can play your Switch One cards directly. Yeah, they can just plug and play. It's backwards compatible. Take the one from him. Oh, are you saying you're gonna buy him a two and then take the one? Why not just buy the two for yourself? Uh, how has everyone in chat been? I hope that you're doing well. Oh, unhackable. Yeah. Which that's a little bit weird. I mean, they already know what the specifications are for it and all that kind of stuff, so I'm surprised they aren't able to get around the operating system by now. I do have a Switch One. Just chilling. That's good to hear. Um, my friend and I have been working in the background to look towards getting myself capable of doing some IRL streams where I could do it like in downtown Atlanta. Thank you, Gigi.
Take Olipop money and quit drinking beer.
Thank you, Gigi. I appreciate it. Thank you for helping us meet the goal. I appreciate the $5. Quit drinking beer. I'm not drinking beer. I'm drinking root beer. I have no interest in beer at this point in my life, honestly. It is beer. Beer. Put Linux on it and use it for IRL, like the IRL streams. Has beer in the name and stuff. Yeah, right. So yeah, my friend and I, Archie, we're both working on finding a way in which I can do an IRL stream while being able to maintain quality and have chat, like be able to show up on the stream and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll have that soon. I'm hoping so. The Now's a good time to do it too while it's cool, and I can probably keep the laptop a little bit cooler. But we need to be able to get the fresh air to that laptop if I'm carrying it with me. Fine. Fine. Oh, God. Mine's outside the door, yelling, as always. OTG on the go. What are you talking about? Like as a hotspot, or to do the like the OBS processes? I'm having a hard time following. Like what as the computer itself? Oh, oh, for obs, for oobs. Yeah. I don't even know if y'all can hear him. He is yelling out there. Extra tired after daylight savings. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't I don't get this I get the sense that we're not meant to be on daylight savings time. Like at all. I I am a firm believer right now that we are we should stick to just standard time. I don't think daylight savings time should be a thing at all. And I don't believe in permanent daylight savings time either. As a matter of fact, they have already tried permanent daylight savings time back in like the 70s and it failed miserably. They repealed it in like a month cuz of how awful it was. So I really get the sense that like just sticking to just regular standard time would be the ideal measure for it. Hate the jet lag feeling. Yeah. And it's the constant like every year having to bring your clock forward 1 hour and then bring it back 1 hour to that mechanism. Even if you had the clocks aligned in just the right way, where it was done optimally, the fact that you're messing with the clock like that and everyone has to readjust their schedule in some way, um, exactly what Cass is saying. It messes with your sleep. It messes with all of your rhythms, not just you, not even just your sleep. It messes with how you travel. It messes with how you work. It messes with your stress levels because of the rhythm becoming off. Exactly, Cass. Love you too, Savvy. I've been here my whole life, GG, and I'm still not used to it. So it's I don't think it's a mechanism that our brains are equipped to handle. I don't see it as a mechanism that our brains are equipped to handle at all. You're not sure if you like it getting dark earlier. That's actually the problem I have the opposite problem when it comes to daylight savings, specifically during the summer. Because when people like to be like, "Oh, I have more daylight after work, right during the summer." The problem is that daylight goes so late where it's still bright enough to read a book outside at 9 o'clock at night. Uh, at 9 o'clock at night, I can go outside and read a book. That has damaging effects to your sleep. You need a certain amount of time after the sunlight hours to get your brain has to start producing melatonin naturally, and it doesn't start doing that until the twilight hours. Um, and it doesn't start until the twilight hours. You have to get a couple of hours of actual nighttime, like seeing the night, for you to get into that fully ready to sleep state. And so when you're pushing that off to 9, now you're talking about nighttime. It's night, true nighttime, not twilight. Nighttime is at like 10 o'clock at night. and you probably need at least an hour of nighttime, you're not feeling ready for true rest until about 11 p.m. And when people need to get up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning for work, you're talking about you've only gotten 6 to 7 hours of sleep. You keep doing that month over month, that's not healthy. That is not a healthy thing. So I don't I don't see how that's beneficial. People want more daylight after their work. The solution to that is not moving the clocks. It's having people work less so they have more time in the day for themselves. People should be only working up to 6 hours in a day. Up to 6 hours in a day. Anywhere between 4 to 6 hours is a full day of work. An 8-hour day is unacceptable. It's an unacceptable amount of time to be putting in 5 days out of the week. That's crazy. That is insane to expect someone to put 40 hours into something every single week. Even the people that enjoy what they're doing, I enjoy streaming so much, right? I love streaming. I love being able to play games and talk to you guys, all of those things. Even if I was to be streaming for my primary source of income, I would probably at most be still doing it for 30 hours a week. At most. And that's for something I enjoy, right? That is a lot of time to put into something. And I don't think people are realizing what the long term effects of this is to our psychology. And that's what's concerning me right now. Plenty of people go to work before the sun rises. So many people go to work before the sun rises. And if they had shorter work hours, they would be guaranteed to be getting home before the sun goes down without having to do any kind of clock trickery. We don't need to be doing this illusion of, cuz it's all illusory too, right? It's not like you actually have an extra hour in the day, like 25 hours has existed suddenly. That's not how that works. It's the same amount of sunlight every was it June 21st, 22nd? Every summer solstice is going to be the same amount of daylight. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be the same amount of daylight. You might have a variances between like a couple minutes at the most, but it's pretty much the same amount of daylight every summer solstice. Same with every winter solstice. You're going to have the same amount of daylight. America simulation? What do you mean? Yeah, it's valid that you feel extra tired, GG. And it's by and large mostly an American thing, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's other countries that observe daylight savings too. What's the wrong thing to focus on? Yeah, there's no point in the daylight savings time. Hello, Jen. Yeah, no, everyone doesn't work a 9 to 5. Yeah, a lot of Asian countries don't observe daylight savings time. From my understanding, a lot of the Asian countries don't, because I don't think India does either, if I'm not mistaken. See my Pokemon? I can show a couple of them. I've shared them before. I have a Totodile. Um, show you three. I have an Ivysaur. And then I special Pokemon in the. China's all one time zone? No shot. What? That's crazy. And I have a special Pokemon. I'll try to do this in one hand, but I have a Mewtwo. There we go. Yeah, I got a little Mewtwo in the Pokeball. Mewtwo's dope. That is unbelievable that they keep China all in one time zone. Now that's just as confounding as the concept of daylight savings time to me, honestly. Yeah. Oh, that felt great. What a relief. I got myself some decaf coffee today on a more fun note. Would y'all like to see it? I'm not really much of a Starbucks person, but hold on, let me go get it. So as much of decaf, who am I? Someone who's trying to watch their caffeine addiction. Uh so as much as I don't like Starbucks as a corporation, they are some of the most evil out of all of them. I have to give them props on the fact that they do give proper notes on their coffee. Damn. At least I'm honest. They cuz a lot of if you take some time to go I think I have let me hold on. Let me see if Folgers does this. Wait. Okay, so yeah, I always try to go to a local if I can. The problem is I don't have that near me, unfortunately. Um, so if you take time to read a like your the coffee that you're buying from the store, you want to look for notes on what they're buddy on what they're describing. So like a mild, medium dark, and dark roast. That doesn't really that doesn't actually mean all that much. Well, I can't do this. It has less depth of meaning than even on the front. The fact that they say balanced with nutty and roasted flavors, just the nutty is a bit more of a hint on what you're getting for something like Folgers. But for example, let's say every cup of Folgers House Blend is proudly roasted in New Orleans. Okay, well, I know it's roasted, but I don't know where the beans are coming from. I don't know anything about the grinding process. Anyway, with exceptional craft and passion. Okay, cool. Distinctively balanced blend of nutty flavors. Again, with the nutty flavors, that's a key thing that you want to be able to hear in terms of the profile. Folgers is doing a lot better than what Kroger did. Um, yeah, Folgers House Blend empowers you to confidently take on the day. So the fact that they included just nutty flavors, a big step in the right direction compared to like Kroger's brand, or I guess does Walmart have a brand? Do they have one? I don't know. Uh, do I use a brewer? I just use like a drip machine, just a standard like you just put the grounds in, run the water over it, kind of thing. Um, but Kroger's was just saying it's like uh a smooth blend with bold taste. Like what does that mean? that 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 doesn't mean anything, right? So like Starbucks actually I can give them credit on the fact that they will say things like let's say a smooth, well-rounded blend of Latin American beans. That's still vague, but I know where the beans are at least coming from, you know? With subtly rich flavors of cocoa and praline. Now that's really good stuff to know because I know it's going to be a lot sweeter of a coffee. Everyone, I mean, I'm sure people have had cocoa. Cocoa itself by itself is not sweet, but the praline would be. Cocoa is going to be a more earthy taste. Maybe probably some bitterness. Um, and I think this house blend also. Let me see where it says balancing tastes of toffee and cocoa. So this one might actually be a little bit sweeter. The house blend might be a bit sweeter than the Pike Place one that I got. But then you could also look for if you want a more acidic one, you might hear something in low in acidity, which is directly talking about the acidic nature of the coffee, or maybe you want something like they'll say like tangerine, uh maybe clementine kind of flavors, something like that. That the citrusy, that means it's going to be a more acidic style coffee. Of course, it's all a matter of like to your taste. And I got something. I always lean towards more sweet coffee. I prefer more sweet coffee than the acidic and bitter kinds. I don't like bitter and acidic coffee. That's nasty. Some people swear by it, but I really think that they just have Stockholm syndrome from drinking shitty cheap coffee. Not understanding that there's alternatives. Yeah, the type of beans. Exactly. It depends on the type of beans. I bought grounds. I would prefer to I actually have beans. I just don't have a grinder. There's a specific grinder I think I want to get for myself at some point so I can actually utilize it, but yeah, you like your coffee bitter? I don't. I cannot. I like tea. I do like tea. I mostly like I like black tea because I drink sweet tea. Sweet tea is made with black tea. And then I like chamomile. Chamomile is really good. I love chamomile. It has a really really nice subtle taste to it. That is incredibly relaxing. Hot tea is good. I do like a good cup of hot tea. Normally, if I have cheap coffee that's just really bitter and it doesn't have a good complex taste profile to it, I add oat milk. But now that I have this Starbucks, I'm a lot more likely to just drink it like straight because it'll actually have enough complexity and depth to the flavor that I will be able to enjoy it on its own, and that's how I prefer to have my coffee. I don't like putting a bunch of additives in it, like like oat milk and creamer and stuff. Spill the tea. I have all the tea to spill. Try cold brew. I'm not interested in that right now. Coffee's the only good thing. It's the only great thing about waking up is coffee, right? But yeah, I don't feel like I have a lot of time to talk or hang out tonight. I'm only gonna chat for maybe an hour or two, honestly. You don't know if you can trust Folgers? Honestly, don't. I would say don't. Don't get it. If you want to start exploring different coffees, I would just get from a local cafe where they actually give you notes on the bag. And even Starbucks is not even they're not like Starbucks is not even on. No, I'm not saying go to Starbucks. I'm talking about like the brand, uh, like the beans. Um, you can go to a cafe and buy beans. Is what I'm saying. Like buy like if you want to branch out from getting beans from the Philippines, like go to a local cafe. They will be able to give you uh beans that actually like on that will actually note uh the flavor profile of the coffee. Okay, Stiggy, I'm excited to hear that. That sounds like a funny concept. Philippines. Let's see here. For example, let me see if I can pull up. That's not what I wanted. Um, get out of here. Like here, GG. I'll whoops. This is a shop that I've been to recently. You can see on the bag very rare coffee. Imagine blueberry muffins and a sweet smooth finish, right? The blueberry muffins would be a good note that they give. Uh and this is just a cafe here. So we have flavored with caramel, vanilla mousse, and island rum. That sounds delicious. Um, so all of that is, for example, like if you find a local cafe, they will often have beans that give you a better idea on what the flavor is going to be like. And you can just buy the beans directly from that cafe. Any cafe worth their salt is always going to sell you their beans. That is yelling, yelling. All right, I will give him 5 minutes. Yeah, you're just yelling and yelling and yelling, yelling. My chat just broke. My chat broken. Hold on. Oh, gift folders or what? Chat was behind for some reason. Dark roast arabica. Well, that's the problem. Is like say dark roast arabica doesn't. They're all gonna have flavors. Dark roast arabica doesn't really say anything about it. Doesn't say anything about the coffee. You're not getting really any valuable information. Any brand can just say dark roast arabica, but even amongst dark roast arabica, there's going to be nuances between the flavors depending on how the beans were roasted, where exactly the beans came from. Things like slight differences in elevation and how much sun they got, how much rain they got. All those things can make a dramatic impact on the flavor profile once it's gotten to you. Is this my chat like broken right now? Oh boy. Let me do oh boy. What? Okay. Just hang tight. I don't think he could be any to. Oh, you want to get on the desk? Clyde is such a good boy. He's a little rascal too, with how much he wants loving and pets and stuff. What's up, Bill? What's up, Billy boy? Oh, Billy. Oh, Billy. Oh, Billy. Well, I think feel like I'm kind of at capacity tonight. Gonna play Breath of the Wild soon. Yeah, I do need to get a I need to get a capture card from my friend. So I need to make a special trip to his place to get the to get a capture card, my old capture card, because I think my new one's broke, which sucks. But anyway, yeah, I do need to go get that so that way we can continue Breath of the Wild. That'll likely be for next week that I'll be able to get it, and then we could hopefully start by then. In the meantime, I'll probably be streaming just some Silk Song. Uh, yeah, rip. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. It's a little bit out of my hands right now. So anyway, I feel like I'm kind of at capacity for tonight. Um, Chat's a little bit dead. Anyway, I updated y'all with everything that I have going on. I'm doing what I can to take care of my mental health, and so I have to just be drawing health, like the boundaries I need to be drawing, and focusing on the things I need to take care of. That doesn't mean I won't be giving up on streaming. Oh, what's up, Tay? Yeah, I hate that you just got here too. Um, yeah, I've been having to do things boost my mental health back up. I'm one of those people. I have to like go into solitude to keep my mental health sane. You know what I mean? I'm one of those people. I have to take a lot of space for myself if I'm in a severe mental health decline. Sometimes it can be a bit toxic because I'll just like start shutting a lot of things out in a really bad way. But I've learned how to stop doing that. Where it's not as dramatic as it used to be. Yeah, I have totally been overwhelmed with everything that's been going on. So, that doesn't mean, like I said, that doesn't mean I'm giving up streaming and stuff like that. I enjoy streaming. It's a bit therapeutic for me. So, Taking a break is not illegal. Yeah, it's not illegal. The problem is it also makes paying bills harder. So yeah, communication. Yeah, and that's what I want to make sure that y'all understand is that I'm probably, maybe I'm not as active either because, it's either going to be because I'm busy with like the things that are taking up like my life outside of my life right now, or it's a matter of um just needing a mental health break because ugh, that was a nasty one. Uh, cause yeah, I mean it's just a lot. It really is a lot. So anyway, I do appreciate y'all. Honestly, thanks for hanging out for the hour. Thank you, GG, for the $5. I do appreciate that. It's a great way to start off November. I am nasty. I'm a nasty little boy, aren't I? Real life comes before gaming life. I wish. I wish. It's always gaming for life. Okay. When you take your iron pills, I know, right? It's a 3 out of 10, Bert. GG, you wish your 10 out of 10s could come even close to my 3 out of 10s. GG will go like, "Oh my god, I just burped," in the middle of our stream. It's like, I'm sorry, what? I didn't hear a thing. You only game once, exactly. Gassy hiccups, yeah, exactly. Can't burp like I do. It's like that's unladylike. Yeah, I wouldn't want to leave. I don't think I want to leave streaming behind. Because there's things that I want to learn how to incorporate into my streaming. Like I want to be able to like start um creating music on stream where y'all can watch me fail at learning FL Studio, for example. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun. Y'all watch me fumble around in a DAW would be hilarious. Snakey Wakey, yeah, exactly. DJ Snake. No, DJ Snake already exists. I can't lay claim to that name. It's just Snake Eyes. Huge hobby of yours. Yeah, I wanted to make a career out of music, so I feel way out of practice, but I could probably pick up the pieces pretty quickly. DJ 333, I know, right? You'd be curious to hear my music. I don't even know what I would make. I'd just be starting to add shit. It's a matter of just like whatever feels right. You know what I mean? Anyway, I do appreciate y'all. Y'all please be safe. I love you so very much, and thank you for stopping by. I will see if I can stream tomorrow. No guarantees. Check out the Discord. Look out for a live notification. Uh, yeah, I love y'all. Y'all please be safe. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye.